Welcome to Amateur Redneck Workshop. I'm Harold. So while I was moving the camera over here, I took the opportunity to squeeze the most of a tube of super glue on my screen material. I don't know that the beads could get in those holes, but Hannah put it on hers and I thought, well, hers works, right? So that's a pretty convincing argument right there. Alright, let me glue the elbow onto this thing. And then we'll glue it inside this fitting. That went on really well. Okay, so the smaller the piece, the easier it goes together, I guess. Alright, just a second, let me get that off my fingers. Now I think if you look close, you can see down in here, you can see that plastic pipe sticking up. Everything's backwards in this stupid camera. But anyway, you can see that piece of plastic pipe. And that's what I'm going to slide the elbow over. And once it's assembled, it's going to be in there forever. That's for sure. Now I'm not going to worry about whether you guys can see it or not, because this is already nerve-wracking enough as it is. But I guess I should glue this in first. Would make sense, wouldn't it? Alright. So, a little glue in here. I'm going to put a little glue in there too. Alright. There we go. That's solid. And I've put lots of glue on it. Okay. We'll let that dry a couple of minutes before I go trying to cram this elbow onto it there, because I want it to be as solid and stuck as it's going to get so that I don't have problems with it. I'm sure I won't have any trouble. When I get through with this, there will be no user serviceable parts inside anyway, so this is going to be a kind of pain getting the glue in the right spot, but maybe I can reach it, and maybe not. Oh boy. That out of there and put some on this side. There we go. Alright, now we need a little bit in the elbow. And now bring it up here. And we'll stick it together. And I ain't got a lot of time to do that. I'm going to shove this down over just to make dang certain that it stays straight in there. That's something I learned from Hannah. Yeah. It's pretty much just straight in there. We'll let that dry for a few seconds. If you'll watch Hannah's video, Hannah's projects there where she builds herself a dirt cheap desiccant holder, you can find a lot more information. She gives the price of every item there. In fact, she does it quite dramatically. Alright, let me look this thing over. Threaded on the inside. It goes into the side down here. Let me turn it a little bit where you can see it. I may have to go off camera and hammer on this sometimes, but it's going in here. This guy will go in the top. This will be where we add the desiccant. So let's go ahead and put this guy on there. This is looking in from the bottom, and that's the tube that I suspended in there. And there's still plenty of room for the desiccant to come falling out when I remove the plug. So now I've got to glue the end on that. And there you are. It's all the gluing is done. So the only thing left to do now is just let this thing lay here and dry till tomorrow. We'll come back tomorrow and assemble it further and pressure test it. And if it doesn't blow up, then we'll fill it with desiccant. When I was picking up stuff at Home Depot, I had a little trouble getting all the right stuff. But these pieces are going to be used, and these two here are not. I wound up with a little extra something. Really, I bought this and this extra just in case I messed up the other pieces, that I could go back and give that a try, you know. Oh, yes, this will have to be glued on too. I almost forgot that. Pierre, you sitting there half asleep and you didn't tell me. That burn it. I've got to glue this thing on too, and I've got to cut that pipe off a little shorter before I do it. Back to sleep, but not you, Pierre. You keep awake. Alright, I probably don't need Teflon tape because I'm screwing into plastic. But I'm going to put some on there anyway. Not much, just a little. Just to make me feel good. That should do it. Now then, I'll tighten that with a wrench in a minute. Now the piece that goes into the metal, I'm sure it needs Teflon tape. And probably a bit more than what I put on the plastic there. Get him started. Alright, all I need's a wrench that I of course didn't bring with me. Well, we've got a wrench now. We've got this little guy here. We'll just sort of screw it all together. I figure that's in the plastic good enough, but I don't know if this one's in the metal good enough, so I'm going to take it over to the vise and hold this one and tighten this one down. You know, I say I'm going to hold this one and I'm going to tighten this one down. I don't know if I need to or not, but it just feels better. Well, this wasn't well planned, was it? We're going to have to put this guy in. Well, the time's come to try to pressure test it. I probably got it backwards and I'll have to move the fittings to the other side. But we'll find that out when we find it out. It's about 50 pounds right now. I didn't think that thing was ever going to cut off, but I've got the downstream regulator set for about 105, 110 pounds, and I'm just going to fit around for leaks. Although I've got my fittings on the wrong side of that thing. The compressor should be coming in this side and going out the side it's actually going in. So I'll have to turn the fittings around at the very least. Alright, so there we are, complete with directional arrows for rednecks. I don't know if you can see the arrows or not, but see, there they are. Now I know which way the air is supposed to go. that 2-inch cap on top was leaking, and I took one wrap of Teflon tape around it, which made it screw in a lot easier, and now it's not leaking, and apparently there are no leaks on that thing anyplace. So I guess I'll let it sit there under pressure for about an hour or so, and then I'll come back, depressurize it, open it up, and fill it with desiccant. Oh, I got to figure out how to fasten it to the wall too, don't I? Alright, I want to make a bracket that'll make it stand off the wall a couple of inches. So I've measured over here 3 inches, and I measured up here 3 inches. So I'm going to drill the hole in the middle, cut it in the middle, cut it over here, and I'll have 2 pieces that are U-shaped that I can use to support my brand new desiccant dryer, you know, air dryer, and everything will be lovely. Alright, so what I'm going to do now is make a little hole that I can shove a tie wrap through there. It's not going to be perfect, but hopefully it'll work. I may try to make it a little bit on an angle, but probably not. I lied again. I made a hole on an angle. I can't help it. Alright, this is the part of the video I've been waiting for. Right here. One nice look to be certain, reassure myself that everything's right. Oops. Spilled the desiccant a little bit. Need another container of it. Huh. Oh, well. I need to be more careful and quit spilling it everywhere, though. I don't see a level yet. This thing holds quite a lot, I guess. There, it's up to right here. So 2 of these will get it right up to there, which is close to a half a gallon. Or maybe it's more like a third of a gallon. I'm going to get some Teflon tape and put the little cap back on it. Alright, it's pressured up. Tell both gauges they're up. It's connected. And that little guy there with the slot, he's the one that will tell me when the big one is wet and needs regenerating. Doesn't that look like it'll work out? So I don't need any special view or anything. I've already got it. Let's go see what Bubba or Ole or Boudreaux or somebody's doing. Oh, and my thanks to Hannah for having this as a project. This is what gave me the idea, and it's really simple and it works good, and I'm all for it. Seems like the mayor there in Bubba's town, you know, he went down to the doctor's office because he's, you know, feeling like maybe he had a cold or something. And he went in, and the receptionist there is talking on the phone. So he stood there for several minutes, you know, real polite, like waiting. And she kept talking and talking. And after a while, it kind of got to be apparent to the mayor there that she just, you know, shooting the bull with her friend. And he says, "Excuse me, ma'am." He says, "Do you know who I am?" And she says, "No, sir, I sure don't. But if you'll have a seat over there, we got several doctors here who will help you figure it out." Well, that's all, folks. Y'all try to subscribe if you're not already a subscriber. Leave a comment if you got something to say. And above all, remember, keep on keeping on. Bye now.